CDC 2026. Where is our GitHub repository? Topics. Okay. I'll just do a pretty brief overview of what we did last time, right? So we had the notes from Chris out on GitHub. We talked about some of the basics as far as file system access, the actual objects, how you get objects back on your responses and how you can parse those out natively. And if I remember correctly, last week too, we created files, read files in, and then we were kind of leaving off with looking at more on the scripting side. So looking at, potentially looping through, reading contents, different lines of a file, things of that nature. So let's go to, I know one of these we left off with a cheat, an example. So let's bring that up. Yeah, we went over permissions and ownership. Yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at this little loop statement first. And just like with most programming languages, you have different types of loops, right? So this is just like a while loop. So while, the variable of count is less than, so see less than or equal to, that's what that dash LE means. Oh, sure. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. How's that? Is that better?
Awesome.
Okay, cool. And what's kind of neat is, once you learn PowerShell or you learn most languages, the common, logic and syntax is pretty much the same. You know what I mean? The minor differences and things like that. But with PowerShell, so you have some options here for when you're doing comparisons, right? So you do dash LE or you have LT. You have different options as far as what your comparison is going to be. So basically what this while statement is telling us is my variable count of 1 is what I'm starting off with. I'm going to loop through this basically until count is less than or equal to 5, and then it's going to run this code and basically increment the value of that 4 times.
Do you recommend VS Code for editing PS1 or like?
That's what I usually do. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can't, so it's nice because, VS Code allows you to, especially if you're working on larger projects, you might have different types of file. Maybe you're working with a combination of PowerShell scripts and other things. So it kind of allows you that versatility to bounce, back and forth. Not so bad. I mean, if you're working on something small, you can kind of use the IDE, and the IDE has some helpers and things like that. But VS Code with the proper linting packages and things like that installed is nice, and I find pretty sufficient for most projects and stuff like that. So yeah. And then from here, so I'm going to go over some, and Kaizek knows this because he was just doing this for his class. But you can also, in VS Code, you can do things like add breakpoints and things like that. Oh, why doesn't it let me do that though? I don't know. It should. So what it's supposed to do is supposed to let me click right here. You'll see a little red dot, and you can add basically what's a breakpoint. So if you're troubleshooting your scripts, it'll stop there. I don't know why that's doing that. Anyway, I'll step through it. But basically from there, Yeah, so if you guys want to follow along, just create a file in VS Code, call it test.ps1. And then you can copy that loop block over and we'll kind of just take that apart. So I'll pause here. I'll wait till you guys are set up. I don't want to get too far ahead. Yeah. Because everybody you've got VS Code installed. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Just type PowerShell. And
Yep.
I think it's like IDE or something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if PowerShell.
Yeah, you can follow on there. Your screens are going to look a little different, but it'll be essentially the same
Can
thing.
you search for PowerShell? ISE, I think that's it.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah.
Have you saved your PS1? You won't get ebook option when you say save.
No, it's shut down on
That's
that
it.
screen here.
I
Yeah,
just
try that.
saved it. Let me
Maybe
see.
do a new file first.
That's weird. It won't let me click there. I'm going to close out VS Code and
This
Let me
is
see if I've got an extension.
Can you
Let me
search
try
for
to see if I've got
PowerShell
an
again?
extension.
well, it should natively.
Look for VS Code. I thought you installed, but maybe that was like on a different machine.
There we go.
That-
Yep.
Okay.
I needed the extension. For some reason, I didn't
for
have
the
it.
PowerShell?
I haven't installed at work.
No.
My personal laptop. It's not like I do a lot of PowerShell development on. So
Right.
yeah. So if you guys don't, yes. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, you just said the. Okay, go ahead and pull that up again.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you have Windows?
I got it.
Yeah. Guys.
Do the,
I do want to.
that new file icon. No, the icon, right below it. There you go. And let's just save it. With the floppy disk icon, the save icon. And just type test.ps1. So I don't know how easy it is to see that, but if you're
Yeah.
joined on the meeting, I'd do it side by side so you can kind of.
I can see it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Stretch eyes.
Okay. So don't pay attention to that. Is everybody kind of pretty close to? Okay. Yeah. No rush.
So did you hit control S to save and see if you can get the breakpoint that Chad was talking about?
Yep.
Like on line 3, you see like
You should see a little red dot like that. If you don't, there's a PowerShell extension.
that's probably what we need.
Yeah. So if you click on the extensions here, it's this guy right there by Microsoft.
As if has any sound back in, you might need help so I don't have to.
Oh yeah. So if you click here on the extension, this little.
You're using ISC, that's perfect.
Yep.
No, I'm not done.
You can search for PowerShell.
No, I mean, I've got PowerShell.
It is not
Copy.
go back to your file.
Oh, the code. Yeah. So I copied it right from the example from last time. I'll put this in the chat for
Okay.
the meeting. Yep. Thanks, Dan. Okay. That link in the chat should take you right there.
Terminated, well, you probably don't need that at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would delete it and see if the red goes away. Right now.
Are you guys having an issue over there?
We're good.
You're good. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I'm going to show. Yep. Yep, so we're good. So if everybody's here, you can go ahead and put a breakpoint on line 3. What I'm just gonna show you too, is as you loop through, breakpoints are like a debugging, step. Breakpoints work in any code. You can use it in PowerShell, but you can use it in, any sort of development that you're doing. A lot of times you use a breakpoint if you're troubleshooting like a complex loop. Like this is pretty simple. We could just use, print statements or something like that. But when you have some like complex logic, a lot of times you want to use the debug tools and set breakpoints. And then you can kick that off. So you should have some options up here to go ahead and start the run.
In your case, you can just.
Post it in chat yet.
As far as Kaisik will help you there.
So let's see.
Go ahead and run.
They cut
I think you can just click debug on the top bar there.
What?
Okay, so that's how you get break. So like what they're talking here, so go ahead and click back in the box. If you go over to the line numbers, on the right to left of the line numbers, over on the inside of your file.
Your play button should work.
No,
I apologize.
This
This is
if you go over a little bit, okay. So if you just go to the line number, like let's go to line 3 where they used to have theirs. You can go ahead and right click and then toggle breakpoint.
Was this putting the string out there?
Go ahead and run the program.
yeah, it should. And then the thing with debug, and I'm having an error, unfortunately. I apologize. This goes back to my lack of preparation here. But
Go ahead and just click.
debug will also show you any variables in that
You can
loop
go ahead and click.
and the
run.
contents of those. So even if you're not printing, even if you're not printing them out to the screen, it should show you the
You
variable.
know how to launch a side-by-side terminal in ISE? Blanking
I'm not an ISV guy.
Here, I can help.
Look at things and it push buttons.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
I'm not faulting you for that.
There's a file new, Isaac. File new, a bunch of, it's not side by side, were you looking for the side by side?
I'm looking for like having a terminal panel to output run the script output.
Yeah, it's right. I think that's.
What do you break?
Yeah, there it is. You just have to drag it up.
Yeah,
You have to double click it. Even on a keyboard.
I don't need, we'll put a terminal at the bottom, and it'll
If
take
it's
the
in
output.
memory, it's a problem. If it lives, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, for his, we just had to drag it up.
Those 3 points at the bottom. There, we go. That's what
He is
we're
getting there.
hoping.
It is disabled on the
system. See how reading this code, remember that F string you learned in, it's the same kind of deal where it puts this into that.
Did you save this?
Yeah.
We do have this one, and then it's gonna increase it. It'll be.
You also, I just don't have to save the script, just file new, and you can run whatever.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not an ISC person, but
We do less than.
Not when loaded,
But I'm good at poking.
script is disabled on the
Same.
That's all Linux device, so it's
Like
not
this back.
We may have to.
It's used for less than.
Does anybody else having an issue running this script?
We did, and we killed VS Code, and then it ran
Just fine.
without the debugger. Debugger killed it for some.
Yeah, I'm having an issue with the debugger right now too.
Debugger is really.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing here. I think that was it's a good idea to show you guys that, but I think.
I wonder if the ISV, does that have a debugger?
ISC, yeah, there's a debugger. It's not the best debugger, but it is in fact a debugger.
So we need to copy this into we're gonna open up a new program and make this program there.
And the menu item says debug.
Debug.
PowerShell. new file icon. Save it.
I apologize. Give me a second. I'm trying to fix an error on mine too. Take for granted on my work laptop all the work I've done just to get my environment set up.
That's a beautiful
Thing of VMs.
Yeah.
Just make a snapshot before you break stuff.
Yes.
Get it in there. Let's run it.
Yeah, I'm having an issue there. Here's what I'd like to do actually. If one of you guys can run the script on yours, I'm just gonna have you guys share and we'll walk through things that way. Unfortunately, mine, I haven't done a lot of PowerShell development locally here. Personal.
So as you're gonna share it, then you're gonna have present.
Yep, I'll walk through it. You're just showing.
Where's
So
your, did you join the team meeting? Oh, you're on the app, aren't you?
That should make it easier.
Okay, so I want you to click the share button,
yeah, I stopped sharing.
share the screen. And then go ahead and open up your VS Code. So once you clear your console and then everybody can then you can change things. So you know how to clear that?
Yeah.
I think so. So let's run the program.
Yep. Go ahead and run it. You can run it just by hitting that play button up at the right there.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, is it?
No.
The screen itself.
Oh,
Plugged it to HDMI.
that's
Oh, that's mine.
yours.
But are you
Well, we can just plug in the
Yeah, I have it
HDMI.
here.
just, I'm gonna hand this over to you. There we go. It's my fault. I apologize. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so go ahead and you don't need to put a breakpoint or anything yet.
Breakpoints die. We can't get one going.
Oh, that
We can just-
causes an error.
Yeah.
Really? That's weird. Yeah. All right, so go ahead and hit, so what about that first option though? Like,
Right, left of the,
changes, go to the right. So when you hit run, just a regular run button, does that actually run through?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got some way there.
Okay. Unfortunately, I wanted to show how what's nice when you run the debugger is, I don't know if you saw these screens up there, it does show your output variables in your script.
We have ISC,
Yeah.
but we need to set execution policy or something like that.
Yeah, that's the error Haddon's having too. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So what you can see here though, so it ran through 4 times, right? So it's a while statement, so while count less than or equal to 5, runs through whatever you do in the middle. So the nice thing with the neat thing with PowerShell is you can start to do things like we did last week, where maybe you want to read multiple files or you want to write to multiple files. Well, you can just put that into a loop statement. In fact, let's go ahead and have some fun with that. If we pull up the documentation from last week, we can go ahead and go to the section where we were creating a file. Yep.
Yes, you click on that thing. Pull it down a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's the cheat sheet. I assume you want to do
The one right above it. It's got these examples. So there's a section in there talking about where we went through last week and we created a new item.
go down. Save.
It's about a quarter of the way down. Yeah, right about here. So for example, like copy that new item file path, just that top portion, not the remove item. Yeah, like right there.
copy it.
Yep, copy that. Then go back to your code. And right above count, right above between line 3 and 4, sorry, in the loop.
So. Add a new one?
Yeah, go ahead and add a new line between there. Oh yeah, you want to.
You've got something in the way.
The sharing button, yeah, that sharing button. It's
Oh,
kind
you
of
can see that too.
yeah, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, so you want to put that back and then create a new line between 3 and 4. Okay. Yep. And then paste. And then we're going to change this up a little bit because what this is going to do is it's going to create the same file, hello text, over and over and over again, but that's more than likely. I mean, I know these are bad examples, but that's not what we want to do in a loop, right? We want to add some sort of variable. Maybe we want hello text 1, hello text 2, hello text 3.
Am I still doing this?
You can try and follow. It is going to be harder on the ISE, unfortunately, to follow along there. If you can, Haddon, if you can install VS Code,
We're trying to do that.
yeah, you can download. You should be able to download that from Microsoft. You do a quick Google search there. Yeah.
I have this prophecy and it's like it's not intended, but it still works. It doesn't matter.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Okay.
It's not like Python.
Okay.
Python's very particular on your spacing.
Okay.
You could move all of that all the way to the left and have it all in the same line.
Okay.
It'll still work.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if you guys heard Dan's question. If you work with Python much, like Python's very particular about spacing for tabs and spaces like that. PowerShell's not. So, that's why you even see here, see how your brackets off?
Yeah.
You have different spacing. You could actually put that all in the same line. And most developers don't do that because visually it's not very appealing and it's hard to see.
So what I had was on that current line 6,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
have that end paren indented.
Right.
And it worked. And like, okay, was I just lucky?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. PowerShell's forgiving in that manner. It doesn't care, but like Chris was saying, it's not best practice. You want to see clean code because you
Your
can,
team usually has specific rules about
yeah.
how we format our code, so it's quick for each other to read.
Yep, exactly.
And Python actually has documented standards. This is how you should do it.
Yeah.
But,
But Python's a lot less forgiving. It'll, yeah.
with indentations,
Yeah.
it's part of the syntax, actually.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that was actually a hard thing when I started picking up Python. Is like, why does this language care about the spacing? Because like every other language I ever learned is like, it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Yeah, JavaScript doesn't matter, Python, PHP, all that
It
stuff.
took me a couple of hours to say, actually, I hate typing curly braces. So when
Yeah.
they're in this awkward,
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do for the hello.text section is we're going to add a variable of count to the file. And we can do that in line. So if you go to, nope, you can go right back to your code. And right after hello, right before the period, just in line, yeah, right after the O, you should be able to add, I think it's $. And then braces like that. Yep, and then inside there, your variable, which is count. And you can save that. So now what you've done inside your loop is you're now going to create 4 files in that same directory, but they're not going to be named the same. They're going to be named hello and then the number. And then for aesthetics, you might want to put an underscore so that like when you look at the files, like after hello, there's a little bit of space there. Don't have to, but a lot of times developers will do stuff like that. So you have good organization. So one thing you'll learn too when you start learning advanced concepts is organization in your code is very, very, very important. Because once you start working on larger projects, like smaller projects, you can get away with, kind of less organization. But once you get into bigger projects that have a lot more files and scripts and things depend on each other, if you don't have organization in place in your code, it's hard to read, it's hard to understand, it's hard to troubleshoot. So let's go ahead and save this and let's make sure this runs. And then let's look at our directory and make sure that we got all the files that we wanted. And look at that, right? That's cool. So it went ahead and it looped through, it ran our 4 times, and we have hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4. So that's pretty cool, but they're just like blank files, I don't really have anything in there. So now let's look. I thought there was an example too, where we can start to write to the file. And if not, we can pull up one. But I thought we had get content, but I don't know if we actually wrote.
Did a control F and don't see it on the class notes.
Yeah. So let's get an example here real quick. Give me 1 second.
Even when you're downloading something that's like stuck at 99%.
It's in there. I didn't put the dash. So if you go to number 3, go back to the CDC.
It was number 3. Oh, viewing and editing files. Yep.
99 downloads and put completely on.
Way more to.
You did it.
I didn't hear
Yeah,
you.
chat.
You got 99
I know,
downloads. but
we're gonna would have time for this, but my debuggers
I
will
know my things.
Your debugger works?
They're
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Yours does. Okay. Yeah, so we should let's finish this, and then I would like somebody to show, because I think it's important. Like it really,
The debugger.
yeah. Because whenever you're troubleshooting something, like I'm using the debugger because it gives you access to all the variables, the like what those variables are at the time of your breakpoints and everything else. So but let's finish this. What I'd like to do is we'll write some content, some different content to each file in the loop, and then we can look at reading it too as well. So create and open the file. Where's our example here? Yeah, so we just do add content, right? Add content. So if you type, let's go back to your example. And so let's add a new line after line 4. And the reason I'm showing you guys these examples, like I know this is kind of a silly example, but I'm trying to open your mind up to like looping. You can do some pretty advanced things. You can, when you start to think about this, there's no end in sight. Like you could do this on 5 or 4 files, or you could do this on 10,000, right? That's the
hard drive.
that's the power of doing this, right? And then, yeah, this is locally, but you can build scripts that actually go out, communicate with other servers, pull data, write data, have conditional logic. So the reason I'm sharing that's my passion. I love implementing something that you start on this small scale and then you scale it up and you're like, man, I just made this massive change on like 20,000 servers. That was fun, Anyway, that's my passion. All right, so let's do an add dash content. So if you remember from last week, the verbs, right? So we did new item, creates a new item, add content, adds content. Yeah. Yep.
Same casing, I imagine.
Should be same casing, yeah.
So you need the capitals.
Yep. And I think it'll autocorrect if you don't. But yeah, that is the format, is capital, add, and then capital content. Okay. And then you want to do a space, and then you want to put, and then use the exact same path as above. So you can just do dash path and copy that exact same syntax from line 4. Yeah, that's fine. You don't need the force though, but you can copy everything else. Oh, sorry, item type file you don't need, just the path. Yep, just like that, and take force out of there. And in place of force, type dash value. Space. And then in In double quotes, just go ahead and put some sort of, just put some sort of fun saying, doesn't matter to me what it is. Hello world, this is awesome.
That is the best.
Yeah.
Go Cubs.
It's still at 100% downloading.
Yeah. You're still downloading, Ken?
Yeah, at 100%. I've been at like 100% for like 10 minutes.
Man, we'll help get you caught up. We'll help get you caught up. And then do a space. And then what I want to show you is you can also add variables in line to your text. So what you're putting here is the value that's going to go inside the file. So when you open the file, that's what you're going to see. Okay. So in there, after hello world, put a space and then use your variable for count. It'll be $ bracket count bracket. Now you just added dynamic content to that file. So you're going to open the file. So file 1, hello1.txt should have that value with the 1. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Same thing. So let's go ahead and save that and run that. You go there?
Did it overwrite the original ones again?
It should have with the force, I believe.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Now let's see, it says link 0 though. So let's go ahead and you can either, why don't you just open, that's the nice thing about the IDE. You can just open one of those files. So if you do file open, we can take a look at the,
File menu.
yeah, file menu in the upper left. File open. Yep. And there's hello 1, 2, 3, 4, other 1 KB. So highlight all these actually. Just if you hold shift, you can highlight. Nope, not all those. Just the 1 through 4.
How do you
Choose like,
Click
then you
the
hold
first
it.
one, click the first one,
Oh,
and then hold shift.
Yeah, or you can check the little. You can see this little checkbox. You can also check that. There you go. And that should open them on the left-hand side or the top. Yeah, so it worked. Hello 1 has hello world 1. If you look at 2, it should have hello world 2, and so forth. Right?
You told me.
Yeah.
Count is not.
So let me do that.
Oh, you don't have it inside
Yeah,
the.
so here, show you like your
Yep,
current
you need
directory.
to have,
Like
yeah,
your server,
pull
okay,
that
working on
variable
it.
inside the hello worlds.
Oh, I see, okay.
And then you should be good. All right. So we have created files, we have edited files, we've added dynamic content. So now let's say let's go back to the example. We can read from those files. We could actually then read and then output that to the screen through a print statement. So there should be an example here for get content. Yep. It's actually a pretty straightforward example. So you can just, yeah, it's right there, get content dash path. That's using an environment variable. Just use the same exact path that we had. That's fine. It doesn't matter. You're going to change the path just to be what it is.
Yeah.
And then after this, I'm gonna throw a challenge at you guys and see if you can figure it out.
Put this in here.
Yeah, go to your test.ps1 script. There you go. And now after line 5, add another space, add another line break, and then paste that in. And then change your path to be the same path. Copy and paste that from above.
Just the path.
Yep, just the path. So dot slash hello. Yep. Because that's your reference to that file. Yep.
You need the whole file name.
Yep. Not the value though. Not where it says value.
When you think of a file name, you think of hello1.txt.
Yep. That's basically your file reference pointer or
Where do we put that?
that you want to put for your path on line 6. So see it says $env. Yep, just highlight that whole thing and paste over that.
So we're reading that same file that we just wrote.
Yep. Now we want to put that into, let's put that into a variable. Okay. So at the beginning of that line, we can say in PowerShell, we create a variable. It's just $, whatever. You can call it whatever you want. So let's just call this $ content.
At the beginning of the line.
Yep.
Just remember how you assign it to a variable.
Here. Yep. So say like $ content equals. And usually put a space in there. Yeah, there you go. They may not like content, just say stuff. I like your mouse there. Why is it complaining about that?
Cover
No, it's good.
Stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was fine. Yeah, we haven't used it yet. That's fine. Okay, let's just keep it as stuff. It doesn't really matter. The point is you can make it whatever you want, but a lot of times when you're in larger teams or larger projects, they have variable standards on how they want the variables defined, where they want them defined at, if they're camel case, different, whatever that is to keep that like, standardization, right? So after line 6, let's go ahead and add another line. And then we're just going to write out the contents like to the string here. And so we should be able to say things like, I think it's what, write. Is it write content? Oh.
Did you just put stuff down? Kind of like the string welcome?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, but you'll need to tell it though. So you're going to say write. I can get offhand. I think it's just write output. So if you do, no, before stuff, do write dash output. We have our action.
Casing.
Yeah, you'll need your key. Yeah, and you want to separate that from the $ thing.
So H.
Yep, write WRITE dash output. And capital O. And then do a space, and then you want to do double, you could just do that. That's gonna write it. But a lot of times what you might want to do is you might want to prepend it with something. We can do that. So put double quotes around stuff. And then we can inject static text content and then also add in our variable. So before stuff now, inside the double quotes, say, this is my stuff, space dash.
So right there.
Yep. This is my super awesome stuff.
So you need to write the word stuff
Yes.
and then maybe put a colon or a
Dash or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll see why in a minute. Yeah. Go ahead and save that. All right. So what that's doing, yeah, go ahead and run it. There you go. Very cool. So we loop through, wrote, we create the files, add content, read content, and then output the content, right? Well, I want to hit you guys one little challenge. I think you guys can do this, okay? There's an inefficiency in our code. We are writing, and I want to see if you guys can come up with a solution here. We have on line 4, 5, and 6, we have duplicate code. So whenever you see duplication from a programming perspective, guess what you want to do?
Run and hide.
You can run and hide, or you can embrace it and fix it. And typically what you want to do is you want to consolidate that down to a variable. And so that's the challenge. I want you guys to maybe talk amongst yourself real quick, look at the code, and think about how you might take that and put that into a variable, kind of like count. Like you see line 1, right?
Do you guys see what's duplicated? I think that's.
That's a good, yep.
Okay. why don't you highlight what's duplicated, because I think it'll show you.
Yep.
So that's a good thing you know, path, the dash path is duplicated, but that's not something you can put in as a variable.
Yeah.
So think of everything that you've passed into like path or is there anything else?
It's just that, it's really that, that dot backslash hello dollar count.
You see that?
If you highlight that, you'll see it, it's on line 4, 5, and 6. Right?
Dot.
Yep. So highlight that whole thing and copy that into your clipboard, all the way to text.txt. Just one. Yep. And then go ahead and hit Control C. And so what we're going to do, because we're good developers, we like clean code, right? We're going to go and right under, let's say right under at the beginning of our while statement, a new line, let's create a new variable, call it whatever you want. That's the fun part of programming.
X.
That's the creative part. So you get an opportunity. That's the one thing I like about it
You
too.
want to create a variable name related to what it is.
Right.
So this is, what is what you copied? What do you guys think? What's it being passed into?
I give you an example. Like first thing that comes to my mind is maybe I call it something like, I don't know, file path,
Does that make sense?
right?
X is not as good as file path.
$ file path. I look at that variable and go, I know what that is, right? That makes sense to me.
Do you specifically want to avoid like making a variable called path because there's the command path?
A lot of times, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why some developers, like when they put their standards in place, they'll intentionally put either casing or some sort of like uniqueness to their variable sets. So that way they know like, hey, this is mine, this
Got
is
it.
our
Okay.
teams, you know? Like for example, let's just do this. A lot of times they might put a capital F and a capital P, right?
Okay.
So that kind of it differentiates it a little bit. You know, it's your standard, right?
It's probably worth mentioning that whatever your team wants to do is the right answer.
Yeah.
But if your team doesn't have conventions and your code is whack, like what I inherited with some of my stuff 20 years ago, or you're starting a new project, these languages, I think I mentioned this before, but they do have preferred, whether it's the community that's come up with them right through practice or something like Python where they've said, this is what you should do. You should look at, you should ask an AI or look at Stack Exchange channels and just find out, what should a variable name look like in PowerShell? What should a function name look like? And there will be some, community approved standards or some actual standards that are official.
Yep.
So you don't have to guess, but you don't always have that luxury because the team may have worked it out, and then you should go with what the team says.
Yep. Or you're in situations where the previous team had some messy code. Didn't think about those standards ahead of time.
Yep.
And maybe you're coming in to clean it up a little bit too. Those things happen.
Yeah, I've got databases where my official advice to the programmers is not my official mandate or whatever, blend in.
Yeah.
Whatever that piece of code looks like, that's your standard.
Yeah.
It's different in different parts, and I say
Standardize it.
standardize it according to whatever it looks like most of the code is.
That's the biggest thing. I'd rather see in code some sort of standard than not. Even if it's messy or whatever, as long as there's a standard, it helps tremendously as you're trying to troubleshoot. All right, so we have a variable, but we need to fill that with something, right?
See if you can figure out how to
Yeah.
build it.
Yeah. So what are we putting in that variable?
Dot hello.
Yeah.
No, next.
You got it.
So space and space.
Yep, equal, close, but you're,
Again,
and it told you, but that's good. Did you see what it did? So do that, do it again so everybody sees it. See that red line?
Yeah.
Remember Chris talking about those red lines last time and how it drives him insane?
You got it, fixed it.
Yeah, or yellow lines. I don't like the yellow lines either. But they're different. The context is different. A red line means you have a hard error. Like if you try to run that, in fact, save that and run that, you'll get an error. See that?
If you, and as a learning technique, if you hover over that red line again, depending on what you've got installed for extensions, this one's,
Those are the same thing.
yeah, it doesn't give any, sometimes you'll get suggestions or some guidance, and
We haven't.
that's,
done AI.
that's not- well, but you have with linters and,
Yeah, sure.
and,
Look,
what are they called? Language servers.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, which is what gives you the syntax knowledge and stuff. But not here, you're on your own.
So learn the old fashioned.
Yeah.
That's why it's
The old fashioned way for me was going to the side of the office and there are all these big IBM books.
There's something I think to be said about the old fashioned way, because I think you truly learn through repetition and digging in. The challenge for you guys, you're growing up in the era of AI. So it's very easy to, how do I say this? Not exercise your mind as much and let the AI system do most of the heavy lifting. But you're gonna have to find the right balance of learning, having the AI teach you to learn, to actually know. And then there's some scenarios where you do make the transition, have it code things for you, but you want to be able to know, like, is the AI doing this in a way that's maybe efficient? Or is there maybe, because the AI is not always right.
oh,
You know what I mean?
I see why this isn't working.
I'll take the counterpoint on that.
Yeah.
After they find out from the AI or Google or whatever that
Yeah.
it's the squiggletron that's missing.
Right.
They're gonna do it so many times.
Yep.
The repetition will still be there.
Yep.
And they'll get the muscle memory and the mental memory, I think.
Yeah.
So,
VS Code has been at
Yeah.
100% for a half an hour.
That's crazy.
Well, I wonder if you have like somewhere that you mentioned. See if you can fix that.
Yeah, go ahead, Hans. What do you think? What do you think's the error there that your code's trying to put?
Is it the space? I don't know.
Well, I'll give you a hint. Look at your variable. There's a difference between your variable on line 7 and on line 3. It's a very minor difference. And what you'll find as a developer, those minor differences make a big deal. I can tell you stories where I troubleshoot a very complex script only to find out that there was a space missing I couldn't see for 3 hours. And Chris is laughing because he's done it too.
and on a programming team, I find that sometimes the best way to find my mistakes is I'm gonna go to Slack.
Yeah.
And ask somebody to look at it,
Yeah.
because we're remote now, or have somebody come over and look over your shoulder.
Look at this. What
But
am I not?
especially on Slack,
Yeah.
you want to ask a good question, so you say, okay, I've looked at this and I've tried that, and then you think, the next thing I'm gonna tell them, I haven't tried,
Mhm.
you know, because you don't want to waste their time, so you tell them everything you've tried.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I didn't try that.
Right.
But the great thing in an office, you have somebody come look over your shoulder, and all of a sudden, you're like, oh.
Yeah, in 2 seconds, you gotta go, hey, you forgot that space there.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, go ahead.
So where you have defining a variable.
Yeah.
It's going through, but-
Just part of the screen.
oh no, it is, okay. I was thinking that it was defining it before it was changing the count from 1.
No, the count starts outside.
Right, and this is inside, okay.
That's why we want it here.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. But that's a good call out because timing of that context matters, right, of where it's at.
Thanks.
Yep.
Oh,
But they left these.
Very dull.
Thanks.
I'm lucky.
Oh, yeah. Good now.
Good.
Should have brought my shredding. So
Okay.
There's something different on line 7.
there it
What,
is.
how do you assign stuff in line 7? You want to put into stuff, whatever you get back from get content, path, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Do that.
So how do you tell PowerShell PowerShell. How do you tell PowerShell to take the results of get content and put it into stuff? There's an operator on that
Yeah,
line.
just read what you see on line 7, you'll say it out loud.
Stuff equals get content dash path.
Was that stuff Powertron? I thought I heard Powertron.
Powertron.
Stuff what? Stuff.
Stuff what?
Stuff what?
What's the second thing you said?
Equals.
Oh, there we go. Powertron.
So do the same thing in your variable on line 3.
Yep.
You're assigning it to the variable.
And it's perfect. Now we have a yellow squiggly line, but that tells us something.
Yep.
Because we're not done here.
Yeah, you have wrote that.
Basically, that's telling us that you assign this variable, but you haven't used it. So now, what do we want to do to our script on line 5, 6, and 7 to start using that variable? What would we do? Anybody, can anybody,
Well, I know it's not replace it with $ file path.
you there?
Yeah.
What area did you go?
That's what it was.
You know, line argument two.
But remember, well, let's start with what Dan just
No,
said.
you might need, it might want quotes around it.
I thought, I wonder why.
Around file path?
Yeah,
So every place we have hello count.txt,
I thought
we got replaced with something else, right?
is it double quotes around it?
I don't know. No, I thought Dan had it right.
Oh,
Not that one, just the new one you were working with, the 5 and a half.
I don't know.
Remember how we duplicated that everywhere? We're trying to get rid of that duplication.
Finish my.
that's good.
Get rid of the.
How much time do you need though? Because I know we're getting,
So we'll just go so far. and
Just
not
that exact
for them or
text.
something.
okay, you're good.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Everywhere,
I'm just trying to kind of.
No, this is good.
Yeah.
And I think
but we need to replace it with something. We
I
need to
think
replace
it's
it with
more important
the
for
variable.
them to see this,
Yeah.
this bash will, it'll increase the mysterious aura of bash.
That actually should be fine.
Dan was getting there with that. We're gonna try that
Hit
though.
next install.
Yeah, not value though. You want to keep value in that one.
See how you copied too much or you highlighted too much?
Wait, is there an undo?
Yeah, you can control V. Yeah. So let's do that. Let's replace one of them because Dan was getting an error when you ran it. So I want to make sure, we'll just replace like the one on line 7, just to get content.
I'll get rid of it, there,
And the dot.
The
Yep,
whole thing.
whole thing.
and then replace it with.
What do you think you should replace it with?
Five.
You got it.
Got it.
You move this, it's a little too long, but I think it's accurate.
Why don't you run it, see what we get?
Final prep, final chat. Yeah, I'm in your.
You're gonna be like, get low.
It is. No.
The work that he said, that was too long.
Okay, so we got an error. What's the error say? Cannot find argument to parameter path because it is null. So that tells us line 3 is not working the way that we think it is.
This might be a good time to switch over to a debug.
Yep.
See if we can assign that. Chris, do you have, are you kind of where we're at all?
I do not, let's see, is this copyable from the,
Yeah, let's put it in the chat.
You can put it in the chat.
okay.
Sorry, I didn't know it. You got time or is it, you good?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just pushed,
Yeah,
I didn't merge, but I pushed my stuff up.
okay. Because Carl's right. This is a perfect time.
You gonna pop it into the meeting chat?
Working on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, as opposed, that's what I need.
Yeah. I love Teams and
Okay.
code and paste. I guess there's probably buttons for it, but that should do it for you.
All right.
So what we'll do, unless you want to do it more permanently, is just watch you share on the screen. Would you like the HDMI or do you want to share
I'll
screen?
just share.
Okay. So he's gonna, we'll just watch for now. Don't switch your screen.
I know.
Everybody-
Okay, so this is what we got, right?
Yes.
Yeah, look at that.
That's,
Try to get.
is there like, can you make a full screen? Yeah, there's a full screen.
Oh. You do.
There was a full screen.
Right.
Review.
There it is.
I don't know
Yeah,
what I hear.
that's it.
Okay, so we're gonna debug this.
Yes.
Haven't paid complete attention. So I've been following along, but
That's okay.
yeah,
Let's put a breakpoint on line 3,
on line 3.
because that was what the error was at.
And to do that, I just clicked over here in what I think is called the gutter, but I think of it as the breakpoint place.
Because it rolls off the tongue easier.
Yes.
So I don't really know what it's supposed to be called. I mean, and then show more people. Okay, there we go.
So once Chris has the breakpoint in there, we should be able to run our script. And a breakpoint is just what it says. It's what it's basically doing what it says.
Oh, I need to save this.
Yeah. It'll break instead of looping all the way through and just running. It's going to get to that point, that breakpoint, and stop execution of your script.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made this thing big, so I actually have to go into more to see my running. So I'll click start debugging.
Yep.
There's an icon for it someplace too. And path.
So
This is the name of my script, so that's not right. Let me make this a little smaller because this is just not sensible to me right now.
yeah.
Did
your breakpoint go?
Going to line 3 and go away. But why didn't it work? Start debugging.
There we go. That's what it was.
Okay, yep.
So you see at the top, you have this variable section. And see how it
I
stopped?
look.
It stopped right there in the code. So we can go through, we can kind of see all these local variables, script global. So I think Chris, you click on that local.
Well, yeah, this is interesting in this debugger because it's all the local variables.
Yeah.
So, oh, you know, it's okay. So if you look here, what we didn't set file path yet, right? So, whoops. So if we look for this on this is large, it's all the local variables.
Yeah.
But you can see there's nothing under F for file path, and this is not case sensitive. So like the A and the C for our exam count are around. So anyway, not case sensitive. But I've got options on how to proceed. If I hit that one, that's an oops, it'll just run the rest of the script, continue.
Yep.
You got step over and step into. Step into can be dangerous with open source projects, especially because it can go into the guts of the code that you didn't write. So we don't want to do that here. We just want to step over our own statement. So we get to the next one, the welcome statement. So I'm going to step over, that's this one. And we'll do that. And we should have set the file path variable now. And the array. Okay, so here, did it go? I thought I saw it set the error. Well, let me look here. There's an auto variable function. I don't need there. Get an error. Shouldn't. File path is hello count. That should work. Can't I come down here and just ask for this thing?
You can, you should be able to.
Apparently not.
What's up?
Or even the terminal. I think the terminal will do it.
It's not right.
I know. I like that.
Oh, the term hello dollar count text is not recognized.
Yeah, so I don't think it likes the syntax of how we're trying to.
Oh, this isn't a string.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I think it needs to be a string.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was looking over your shoulder and I just said.
I want you to watch that and we'll figure it
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just blurted something out. Sorry.
No, that's good.
I was just, yeah.
Yeah.
So shall I continue?
Just continue.
Yeah,
go ahead.
this won't work because we want to assign file path a string variable, right? When you were someplace down here, oh, when you gave the path, this should have been a string also, actually. So you want this, so /hello is supposed to be literal text, right? And when you use text, they should be in quotes. In PowerShell, you can use single or double quotes. They're different in how they work. And then this dollar count is embedded as a variable. Sometimes you don't have to use these braces, but in this case you do, because you have to be explicit in this case of where the variable begins and ends. I think because you want,
Well, it's because you're in line with that text. Right?
yeah, the braces let you be very specific about what's the variable name. Sometimes in the syntax, it might not be clear. Like if this went like this and you didn't put the braces in, it would think the variable name was count ABC.
Mhm.
Because there wouldn't be any natural end of the variable, right?
Yep.
If this wasn't there, say dollar count would be slow. Okay, so anyway, so that has to be a string. I'm gonna stop. In the debug tools there's a stop square, so I'm gonna stop that one. And now where are we?
We'll have to see if it interprets the dots flash.
Okay, so just do it again.
Yeah.
So we'll start debugging.
If you got it saved.
Let's find out. So we'll do this. I didn't see any.
No errors, right?
The problem is
See
that
it.
the
So
isolation
keep
ISO
going.
directory has a conditions error in it.
Well, yeah,
So
so
setting
find,
up
we
a
find
Windows
stuff.
VM is gonna be a bit of a pain.
Okay.
Because we need to clone the
Yep.
existing one.
Oh.
And then scrub it,
Let's, that
which
was,
isn't impossible.
well, I could have used it, but
I mean,
that's
that's not really gonna do him any good. He doesn't need Wi-Fi
That's-
right now.
Yeah, keep it the
So,
same.
yeah, keep it the same. So start debugging.
In the future, yeah, because control parameters.
So step over this first one,
Um,
step over that one. And,
this was a factory reset.
So real quick, as a default, how did it?
We could use, don't worry about what we're doing. We're in PowerShell.
I think, and this is where I want to see if it actually works, because it's trying to interpret, that period is a reference pointer to the,
You may
current
need to
location.
reboot it.
Oh, okay,
You did.
all right.
And so I
That
actually,
makes no sense to me, but it's not a string, but.
Yeah.
it is a string, but then we're using the string as a path.
Right.
So-
so I actually think this may not. Well, this,
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it did. I tried it.
Yeah, so here's welcome one times.
Windows
here. We're gonna step over the next statement, which is a new item.
Process it right now.
Okay.
and it's less about the code working right now. It's actually more about when you have these things happen.
Mhm.
These are the debugging steps that you're going to use.
Right. Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, and so.
No, you're good. Because I'm trying to scroll down, like, because you're going to have some.
So now we got count over here is equal to 1, which we expect. And file path is dot hello 1. And you can see when we ran new item type file path, hello count text. We did this the longhand way. Force, that worked. Now, most debuggers, what I'm about to do, kind of dangerous, but I think I can do this in PowerShell because it's a scripting language. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this on the fly, but this is not a good idea, and it's just not. Well, we've already changed it down there, so I'm gonna continue just one step at a time. Step, get content file, but there's nothing in it right now, right? So go ahead and say, oh, you were editing it in between, is that right? So count plus plus, we look over here for count. And now it's 2, right? I think you can also, you can hover over these, right? And it'll pop up the value 2.
Mm-hmm.
You can also hover over file path to see that it's hello 1.txt. We go over this and we say, we change it. It can allow say hello 2.txt. It's probably easier than looking at the big list of variables. You can also, over here on the watch list, if there's something you just want to watch without hovering over it repeatedly, I can say, hey, I want to watch the value of file path. And I just hit enter and it's going to stay there. And I want to also watch the value of count. Oops, it doesn't matter that you put it lowercase, but I want to match. So now I can just kind of speed up, right, and just watch over there on the watch list. And I can say,
You know
okay,
what it's called.
I got a new item. I can tell I got a new item because we didn't tell PowerShell what to do, right? When we say new item, it just by default displays it. Talked about that a week or so ago. And now we can go, we'll see, this is my stuff, empty. It's my stuff, hello world too. Where'd that come from?
Why I'm so confused is I can't get.
I don't know why there's stuff in it. Why there's stuff in it. I don't know.
You got stuff in there?
Says this is my stuff, hello world too.
Well, that's because it put it in there in line 6.
Oh, add content. I missed that. Thank you.
Yep.
So just keep going. Count is 3. Hey, it looks like this is working.
But
So
you
now
missed-
Make sure.
You missed one on line 6.
If trying
I missed one on line 6.
Yeah, what file path for the path there?
portable web browser here, we'll try to see if
Oh.
we can force the interface to reset.
Since we're about to run this one. It's very neat. The reason this works in PowerShell and should work in Bash is that this is an interpreted language, so it reads the line and then runs it basically. If you tried to do this like in C or C# or any compiled language, this would blow up because now the compiled thing you're running and the debugger will be out of sync, right? You just change the variable, but you've already compiled the program, and that's just not going to work. The debugger hopefully would stop you from doing this, but that was add content, so make sure that worked. This is my stuff, hello world 3. So it all works now with the variable instead of the repeated path name. Now that we have some confidence that this thing's working, we're going to get one more, I guess. So I'll hit this button for continue because once you think you've got something working, you might have like this loop has maybe this is a loop, has a breakpoint in it. But now you think this is right, you've got another breakpoint someplace else you want to jump to. So you just let this thing continue. Oh, but I should have cleared that. And you clear the breakpoint here and you go ahead and jump to some other part of your code just by letting that thing run. Or you just let the rest of your program run because that was your last breakpoint or whatever. So that's what the debugger looks like. Lets you look at your variables dynamically. That's what I use it for, breakpoints and variable peaks. That's well over 99% probably what I use a debugger for.
Yep. Awesome. That's all I had. I just want to kind of run through like, some more in-depth examples, loops, some kind of open your mind as a few things you can do. This is just scratching the surface, which is kind of fun with programming. I mean, you can get you can build very complex code, different functions to do different things. That's what kind of drives me anyway. I want to share with you guys why I like this, programming, why I, continue to learn different techniques and things like that. And it's just fun to me. So, yeah, that's about any questions. Was there anything I know we had some issues with patent system. I would just say too, going forward, it might not be a bad idea in your spare time. Try and have a system that has VS Code ready and installed because it is pretty versatile. And it's something when you go into the industry, you get a job, if you're doing any sort of programming job, you're more than likely going to use VS Code. There are other IDEs and things depending on what you're developing, but I don't know, it's pretty industry standard for the most part. So like for your work, I don't know what you use.
Visual Studio and then the VS Code were
Yep.
really hitting it hard.
Yep. So. All right. Any last minute questions or anything? I know we kind of hit you with a lot too, like new concepts and stuff. So if you guys have questions later on, feel free to post them in Zulip or we can talk about them, later on. So.